Who is Shavkat Rakhmonov?
Shavkat Rakhmonov. That man gives me chills.
If you don't know who Shavkat Rakhmonov is, you are really missing out, alright? He's a Kazakhstani fighter, descendant of Genghis Khan. Yup, that's right. The blood of Genghis Khan runs through his veins. He's a horse eater and a meat beater.
If you don't know, now you know.
I'm just joking. He fights in the welterweight division of the UFC and he is very different from everybody else. He is undefeated, but we have many prospects who haven't lost, right? But don't mistake him for some new hype train with short life, alright? He's not some Bo Nickel or Peyton Talbot with a 4-0 or a 9-0 record. He's 18-0. He has 18 professional fights and he has won them all. He's 6-0 in the UFC. And you know what's interesting?
And you know what interesting?
He has finished all of his fights. That's right, 18 fights, 18 finishes. No one has done what he has done. Hamzat was on an all-fight finish streak for a while. He reached like 10 fights, 10 finishes. But since then, he went to decision in 2 fights. Of course, the level of competition Hamzat has fought is far superior. But Shavkat's record is crazy, man. He has 8 knockouts and 10 submissions. Hamzat gets a lot of finishes because he goes crazy in the first round and usually overpowers his opponents. But Shavkat is a bit more calculated. He does not go crazy, but he still is always looking for a knockout or a submission. Like if Hamzat is a warm-blooded beast like a lion who is crazy, Shavkat is a cold-blooded killer like a crocodile who is very calculated but still very scary. Shavkat is an all-rounded fighter, very good striker. He has good basics, but he also does high-level stuff like spinning back kicks. He has got knockouts with spinning back kicks like Edson Barboza does. His wrestling is the weakest part of his game though. He was struggling to take Jeff Neal down or even Wonderboy. But he still knows enough wrestling to mix it up with his striking and he confuses his opponents with what's coming their way. Like, he's very good at mixing it up. That's why this is mixed martial arts, right? You need to mix it up. His grappling is very high level. He has very good ground control and he jumps on submissions from anywhere. I remember he got that standing bulldog choke on Jeff Neal. That was crazy, man. Never seen a submission like that. Maybe Jones submitting Lyoto Machida. Those 2 submissions look very similar. Both look very cool. Man, if you're watching a Shavkat Rakhmonov fight, you know it's gonna be fun. You know it's not gonna go for 15 minutes. You know a finish is coming any moment now. I love watching his fights, and he has got his title shot against Bilal, but Bilal is injured, so we now have Shavkat versus Ian Garry. Say whatever you want about Ian Garry, but he has more balls than Marty fake newsman Kamaruddin Usman. Usman versus Shavkat was what I wanted to see, man. Usman wrote a whole speech how he was so gangster to accept short notice fight with Hamzat, and he would do the same again for Shavkat.
But if the UFC is going to call who they think is going to be legit, tough enough, and man enough to step in there is crazy enough to step in there on short notice and go out there and possibly shock the world. Definitely the UFC know who to call when that situation happens. And if they do give me a call, I'm going to answer the call. We'll get a couple things straight. And if we got to do it, we got to do it. Okay, I don't shy away from any of that. I mean,
I like that.
I've done it on 7 days notice. I've done it on 6 days notice. I've done it on 8 days notice. And hey,
yeah, no, 100%.
This is only a couple weeks notice, but it is what it is.
Guess what? He's a fake newsman. That was all fake news from him, and a week later he was like, yeah man, I'm not taking that fight. Like, brother, what the fuck? Weren't you the one going on a whole monologue like a week back, like you are in a movie or something? I think Usman has got the main character syndrome from Izzy. Never mind, fuck Usman, man. Shavkat versus Kobe Covington. That would have been crazy, but Covington is never accepting that fight in his life. I don't think he will accept that fight even for a title shot. So we are left with Shavkat versus Ian Garry. Rest in peace, Ian Garry. Very brave of him to look at the Reaper straight in the eye and say, come and get me, bitch. But it is what it is. I hope Garry goes on a good win streak after he gets eaten up like horse meat by Shavkat. Let's go, Shavkat. Let's show the world the power of horse eating and meat eating. He's gonna be champion very soon. But I'm worried about Islam Makhachev. We are gonna see Islam versus Shavkat in the future, and be ready, guys. That will be crazy.